Welcome everybody to the first major stream. I am James Eichelberger, joined with my co-host
Ethan Fritz.
And we are going to be giving you some exciting Overwatch content between two teams, the Michigan Means and XPmental Error. So the way this tournament works is we have 12 people, and we from these 12 people we pick two team captains. Those two team captains are going to make a selection and come up with a 2-2-2 roll-lock team composition, and then our first picked captain will pick the map or first pick, etc. We have two matches for you today, and we hope you enjoy.
All right, so let's talk about the first map and kind of what you see coming out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So on the Michigan Mean side, it looks like we have fairly expected roles between these people. We have El Noble One and CD-ROM coming out as a DPS duo. Both these two people are pretty talented people, wouldn't you say?
Yes, they seem to definitely like DPS out of all their roles. What I am looking forward to is out of the XPmental Error, their DPS is not necessarily the most standard, so that we might see some unorthodox plays, which might be interesting.
Yeah. Let's look at the tank line really quickly. So we have Moosin and Magic Mage, who are coming up on the Michigan Means tank line. Now, Moosin is not actually played for quite a while. Do you think that's going to be like a big issue for them?
Yeah, I mean, it might play to their advantage because XPmental Error might not know how to play around him because he is new to the table, but he might lack some of that discipline that the other people have, so we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, and I'm a little worried about the take line about XPmental Error, just because I'm seeing the team to tear, and he has a reputation for just kind of being YOLO. He just likes to throw himself in there, and if his healing line of Fair Hair and Mr. Plutonium can't peel for him, then they're gonna have a lot of troubles coming in there. On that subject, we have that gamer on a DPS role, which we don't normally see him on.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, he plays that healer role, but this will be interesting. And we see Boxy Pants on the XPmental Error. Now, I pretty much think we can all guess what he's going to play here.
There is a main here that he does like to focus towards. But I want to elaborate on that what you mentioned about the TNT Terror. He is very aggressive, and aggressive teams definitely can work, but if he goes in, he does need his team to go in. So I think the XPmental Error can really roll away with their aggression, but they have to work as a functioning unit. If anything goes out of order, it's going to be a little chaotic.
They definitely, if they have the team coordination, they are going to dominate. And over here we have Bizarre and Sandwich running the Michigan Means healing line. Now Bizarre is normally known as a Reaper player, but he might pull out some Zen, because I know he plays some Zen. And Sandwich, he's generally speaking, he's a main tank. I think he's got the mechanical abilities for sure to play a healing role, but we're gonna see how this plays out. We'll see about positioning on that, but I know he has the mechanics to play the hero. So with that, let's jump right into this match.
Alright, so for this match, it looks like we are going to Lighthouse first. You see the Pharah being teased over there. I wonder if they'll do it. Honestly, this has been a map that's more historically played with like a Symmetra by Michigan Means. Just knowing CD-ROM, he likes there, the Symmetra comes out.
There we go, classic pick.
So if I was picking this comp, I would go with a very rushy style comp here with a Reinhardt. There's the Reinhardt. I don't know why the TNT Terror on the script. I don't know why he's playing Roadhog. Maybe he's thinking environmental kills, but it's not. You can't get a lot of value in here.
All right, so
now the Doofus is not a bad pick for this map because honestly, it provides a lot of close quarters and
nice pick,
an immediate pick, which is going to buff him up a pretty quick ultimate charge there. But as you can see, Moose is building up all really quickly, but it looks like he's about to get punished, and he's right out of the fight. As you can see, Baz the Bear's just cleaning up a lot of kills over here, while Boxy Pants is really just being a menace on this hero right now. And the instant shutdown and a great first take.
Great first take. Now, what would you think the other team should switch to counter this, or should they keep the same?
I think they should stay the same here because honestly, the big kicker here is their Doomfist, which they've already forced to back out here. If they can make this Doomfist back away, I think their chances are gonna be. Oh, that's a really good move right there, because that kept him inside of the room. He might be able to escape, but he's gonna barely. He's really low.
He needs healing. Is he gonna get it?
Oh, you can see that. You can see El Noble.
Here goes the ult. Here we go.
That's a good ult right there. You can see Mr. Plutonium has his ult. He probably could have used it there to help them hold on, but he chose to hang on to it. Maybe he's expecting a re-engage at another point. They're not in a bad position, honestly. Ults are in favor of Experimental Era.
I like Experimental's position a lot better just because they have really defensive heroes, and now that they've taken it over, I feel like it's going to be a lot harder to take back.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with the Doomfist ult, you should probably start getting in there, getting a lot of value, and then back out if you get a really aggressive. Wow, I can't believe he missed 0 shots there, honestly. They just kept poking back in and gave him all that ult charge.
Oh, a nice pick from El Noble one.
There's a good bubble to help get Sandwich out of the way there. So here's that meteor strike, but he's using it aggressively, which is an interesting choice. I mean, he gets a pick here. He finds a pick on CD-ROM, but is it going to be enough? He's doing some damage, but where's the rest of his team? Where is everybody else? There's just the Roadhog.
He's looking for the boop. Oh, is he going to get it? He gets it. Very nice.
He's not able to recover off the wall there.
It looks like that gamer's actually switched to Symmetra, so we'll see some Symmetra gameplay.
Yeah, but Symmetra's a really hard hero to re-engage with, honestly. It's not an easy hero there. A lot of ults are being held onto, like, for no reason. They really... Oh, he got punished there. Oh, they see the hook just didn't pay off.
A little too aggressive.
Yeah. Now at this point, they really need to just back off and let them regroup. Don't get picked off at all. Don't take much damage. It looks like Lucio is going to get out. He was a little out of position there.
With all odds online for the Experimenter, do you really think that they can cap this?
I don't know.
Michigan
means, yeah, of course. But it looks like Experimental Era missed their opportunity. All right, so the teleporter means everyone should go in, but...
Oh, the turrets gets them already.
No one came in. There's no team coordination right here, and El Novo one just, again, he's cleaning people up. Oh, but he might get picked off here, and he does.
Is it too late?
It's a little bit late, and honestly, they need to touch the point soon, because it's really, really close.
I don't know if anyone's going to get there in time.
It doesn't look like they're going to get there in time.
Oh, they were Foxy Pants so close.
Yeah, so was Baz, but they just weren't in position. They totally forgot about the points, and those are critical errors that really mess you up.
So what would you like to see from Experimental Era? What do you want to see there as their change?
One, I want them off the Doomfist because it's not working, and two, their ultimate usage is very close to the belt. They are not using ults like they should. Like, they're holding on to them, and honestly, they could have probably won a re-engage before Michigan Means was able to pick up too much steam if they had just gone for a Lucio ult aggressively.
Now I'm seeing a very interesting DPS picks out of the Michigan Means, running the Tracer and Widow. Let's see if that Widow can do anything.
You normally expect them to try to run a Pharah, but neither teams are playing at the Pharah. Which is very interesting, and they're keeping on the Doomfist, which...
We do have a Mercy swap from Fairhair, so let's see if she does better with that hero.
We'll see.
Looking for a pick.
He's looking for a shot over there. And,
Doomfist!
Oh, he got the shot. That was a great shot right there.
That happen.
He really needed to be there quicker. I don't know what happened there. I think he's going for the railing, and then things just don't stick.
A nice fire strike kill. Oh, there's no shields here. They're all just gonna get messed up.
Yeah, you can see Fair was going for that res, but it was too much damage in there. Between the Tracer and the Reinhardt, the cleave and the burst is it's too much. So at this point, they really need to back out. Just getting a little bit of poking right now.
That gamer changed to the Genji and trying to counter that Widow, but I really think they need a tank swap as well. I'd like to see a Winston to help counter that Widow.
Yeah, you need a little bit of a dive, but it doesn't look like they want to run dive. You can see that Reinhardt ult coming online very soon.
Looking for a pick.
He's about to have it. You get nice cleanup there. I don't know about that pulse bomb.
I think he thought he needed it for the Orisa, but he ended up killing it. Oh, nice healing. They're backing up for now.
Yeah, that Reinhardt ult by Moosin is online, and so is that Impresight if he decides he needs it. I wouldn't be surprised if he used it, but he doesn't look like
he's going for the pick. Is he going to get it? Going for the flick shot.
Oh, caught out of position there.
What happened to that Noble one? He's crazy on Tracer.
What happened to him? Like, did he blow himself up? Did he jump off
he
the
didn't have
edge?
pulse bomb, so it couldn't be that. I'm not sure.
Huh. So he still doesn't use Impresight here, but I guess he doesn't need it. Oh, that's a really good cleanup kill right there.
A little deep for the Doomfist.
I don't know what he was thinking there. Oh, the shield is down, so it looks like they're about to go really aggressive. TNT did get a really nice pick on Musin, but it doesn't matter because the Zenyatta's just fragging away. He's still going. He gets another pick. Oh, he does get finally picked up, but I don't think it's enough. Even with the res coming through.
Interestingly, the Mercies have actually swapped. Now we have Plutonium on Mercy, and Fairhair is now on the Brigitte. What do you think about that change?
I don't think the Brig is the right change because she's such an easy target. There's another headshot there. They really shouldn't have pushed in there. She's such an easy target. I mean, they have the blade on Experimental Air, but it's not going to be enough.
Nice attachment.
With that attachment and that hook off, there's no way Experimental Air can come through. And again, another ult just shut down by the Michigan Means. They're just pumping in ults right now.
Oh,
what a hook!
That hook was nasty.
Oh, okay. So
and the teabag, the disrespect.
Jumps off the edge.
The disrespect.
That's it. Your winner for this map is definitely Michigan Means. There was a little bit of a roll there for sure.
Very well played. I like the synergy on them.
Yeah, they really worked well together, and it does not hurt when your Widowmaker is actually hitting shots.
Did pop off, I will say.
Doesn't hurt at all.
Like Boxy Pants is really good on the Doomfist, but yeah, like you mentioned earlier, I really think they should have swapped off there.
I mean, when they're getting countered that hard, you have to make adjustments. You could see players like that gamer trying to make some adjustments, but I don't think heroes like Widowmaker and characters who could actually counter the Widowmaker are in his hero pool. And with Boxy Pants being so stubborn to switch, it's not enough.
I think they just also need the tanks to help as well, because just one person diving the Widow, it's still a hard battle.
Yeah, you could see they were going for that Orisa Hog, but their synergy wasn't quite there. They weren't working as a team to get in there.
Yeah.
There was no coordination for their attacks.
I believe with the Orisa Hog, the idea is to get into the well, but they couldn't even really get to the well.
They couldn't get to the well. At that point, you need to make some adjustments. Dive Comp would have really sealed the deal for them there. Anyway, with that, we will take a quick break and then head into our next game. Welcome back, everybody, from the break. I hope you guys took this time to go to the bathroom, get yourself some snacks, whatever you need to do to get ready for more Overwatch.
We're going to have Michigan Means and Experimental Air. They've been a little swapped up from the last round, but we're excited to see what's going to happen.
All right, so this time we're going to talk first about the Michigan Means. So their tank line is going to be Musin and Bash the Bear. Now, from what we saw last time,
Moosin played a very, very strong Reinhardt, and Baz there was on.
Now, this map can actually work with that. I wonder if they're going to see it again. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think the Zarya Ryan combo is very strong, especially if you get a big rush comp. But they are very versatile, so we might see anything, honestly. There could be a Roadhog. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw a Winston even.
Yeah, and especially since I know Baz the Bear plays a lot of Reinhardt too, similar to Moosin, so it's possible they could switch the roles because I know Moosin he's pretty good at some like the characters, like Hog and other characters like that.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see a switch. It all kind of depends on what their heal and tank damage line looks like. For their damage line, we're running Magic Mage and El Noble One. Now, Magic Mage, he is pretty darn good at characters like Genji, and if he has a pop-off moment, he can play Widowmaker to a very high level. He's also very versatile. What do you think he might come out on for defense?
Defense, yeah, because I definitely think this map, you definitely pick a different hero set for map and attack. For defense, Widow there's some definitely good sidelines he could hide on. I would not be surprised with that. Even the Genji could be pulled if they would probably maybe combo an Ana with that, but if they don't go that route, it could be a Widow. He could even do Soldier. He's not the biggest with Reaper, but it's such a good map for Reaper, I wouldn't be surprised.
Exactly, and El Noble One, as we discussed before, it's a wild card. He plays pretty much everything.
Yes.
He could pull out any DPS on the book here. If they run the Widow, for all we know, he could play the Tracer, play have that harassment there, take over the Sombra if he wanted to, harass the pack room, throw in some Pharah if he wanted to. I don't know, because he likes Pharah. I don't know what you do with Pharah on this map, but you could do it.
Probably better on defense, honestly. There are stuff but there's not a ton of places to hide once they get through that choke, but you can stop them from getting the choke. It really depends on what the healers play. So what do you think they would play? Because that does make a big tell into what the support will be.
Yes, well, so from what I know, Mr. Plutonium, he's pretty versatile. He plays the Lucio, he plays the Mercy a lot. So I would expect, based on what I know about Fair Bear Hair and how she's very particular in how playing the Brig and how to the map, she's not quite there in some of the healing and other roles, but she's getting there. So she's probably going to come out on the Brig, which would force him to be some of that more of that main heal. And considering the architecture of this map, I would definitely pull out a Mercy just because he can get to the high and low grounds and swap between his team pretty easily.
Yeah, Mercy's definitely a really good hero just because spawns are so far, so that res can be very, very impactful.
I agree. Now, coming into attack for the experimental era here, it looks like we have the TNT Terror and Sandwich coming in for their tank line. Now, it's very interesting because both of these people are main tank roles where the TNT Terror favors the Reinhardt.
Definitely does, yes.
And the Sandwich favors the Winston. Now, I'm curious how they're going to run this map. I mean, we saw some issues with TNT Terror the last map where he was very aggressive and his team wasn't able to coordinate well enough to deal with that, to assist with that aggression. I'm wondering how they're going to pull it out because I'm not seeing CD-ROM on the tank line this time, which I find very interesting because he's more well known as an off-tank kind of pair with somebody like TNT Terror. But since he's not on that role, what do you think the roles are going to be? Who do you think is going to take the off-tank and main tank roles for these teams?
I do think Sam does have a teeny bit more tendency to play other tanks besides just his main one that he does. So I would expect him to naturally go to it. But I want to comment on one thing that you mentioned about TNT's aggressiveness on the Reinhardt that he plays. For a map like this, it is nice to get through that choke. So I honestly would not feel bad about picking a Reinhardt and playing aggressively. The big thing is his team going to be able to work with it and coordinate? Because obviously if he just goes on his own, it's not going to work. But if everyone's able to aggress, so I would really like to see a good rush comp for them. So something that worked well with Reinhardt, you could definitely pair with a Zarya. That's personally what I would want to see. And going on to the supports, I definitely want to see them boosting through that with that aggressive style. So,
well, in support we have That Gamer and Boxy Pants. Now That Gamer is definitely well known for
playing any support role that you could ever imagine needing, he got you covered. Now, Boxy Pants, he plays some support, but it's generally like a Baptiste. Moira isn't always kind of the hero he leans towards, but he's as we've seen last map, he's Doomfist main. He heavily favors the Doomfist, but on support, I'm curious what he will come out with, because if he comes out with like the more ideal composition, which is the Moira, is it going to be a problem that he's not as comfortable in that role?
Definitely could be a problem, yeah.
All right, and then we have our DPS lineup, which CD-ROM and Bizarre. Now, Bizarre is generally well known to play the Reaper. He is Reaper main from my knowledge, from what I've seen.
Definitely is, yes.
That's the hero he will gravitate towards. And in this, if we're gonna get the comp that we're expecting from this lineup, then it's not a bad call, as long as again they can work cohesively and work as a team. And with CD-ROM, he, like El Noble One, pretty much plays every DPS role in the book. What role do you think he'll come out with here, knowing that they're probably running a rush comp? I guess it kind of leaves two options.
Yeah, if
really.
they are doing that rush comp, and Bizarre's definitely going to be the Reaper one out of the two, you kind of have to go with Sombra.
Or the Mei.
Or the Mei. But I have not seen a ton of Mei play from him, and Mei's probably not in the best state.
Mei's just not in the best state. I know he used to at least sub-main Mei for quite a while.
Yeah,
but
it's just not in the best state right now, and I think the Sombra is such a good thing on this map. If you can get a huge EMP, that can help a lot for Last Point, because Last Point can be very difficult to take.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting map, because we see a lot of people on the experimental eras playing not their comfort roles, not their strongest roles. There's a lot of flexing going on, and I think flexing is all right, but when you flex too many different roles and too many different heroes, you start to lose your cohesiveness and your strength.
Yeah.
Because now you're dividing yourself into your weaker roles.
We just really have to hope that maybe we could be surprised. Maybe one of them actually will do really well on that roles. We're like, it might not, it could, we don't know, but we will find out. Here we go.
It's definitely going to be all about the team play. You can see some individual performances, but with the rush comp, it has to be cohesive. Everyone has to be moving as a unit. Anyway.
Okay, so the map's going to begin. Let's see how it turns out. Alright, on attack, we have the Experimental Error. It looks like they're running a Sombra Reaper combo, which is really, really popular right now. Very meta. They got a Lucio as well, and a Moira, which work pretty well together. And their tank line looks pretty good.
They're going full on like rush right now. They pure rush. That's their comp right now. It's not bad. I don't understand. It's an interesting comp coming out from the Michigan Beams. It's very defensive.
Very defensive.
That's a lot to deal with. Like the Torbjorn in the back as well as Magic Mage's Widow. If Magic Mage is having a good time today, it's gonna be really hard for them to push this through, and they're gonna have to try to make some swaps.
Here we go. Let's see what that Widow can do.
Yeah, no Symmetra shenanigans. I'm pretty sure both teams. Oh, that was a good Venomine right there. Forced CD-ROM immediately to have to back out. So
okay, they're going straight to point, being really aggressive.
That's not the call. He gets a kill there, but he honestly needs to be healing his team.
Oh, nice pick.
He's not hiding around his shield.
Sombra's looking for the turret, I think. Looking for a hack
looking
target.
For somebody. He's just looking.
But her team's just dying. Well, they got to kill him
there. But they need to.
They got to
Reinhardt's down. They
have
to down. It's completely lost right now. And Moosin takes him down. And that's it. They gotta back out, reset. And that's about it. So there's not a lot they can do there. I mean, I'm seeing some complications. They're not quite moving to the right area. I think they need to move to the high ground, but not to the well, it depends on which not to the, from their perspective, they want to move to the right high ground. They want to go up the little tunnel. Because that way they can get better sight lines on the turret and
I think they're trying to move to the other side, which is good. I like that they're at least trying a different position.
Yeah, but this side is still...
Oh,
that was a really
way
good
out
shot
in the open there. That's kind of rough. Oh,
yeah, why wasn't he with his team right there?
Oh, looks like
Honestly.
ult charge for El Noble One. Is he gonna do anything with it?
Oh, what a fire strike. Oh, and there's the
look at
Widow. There's an assassination, but it
That's
doesn't
a
really...
nice
I
assassination.
don't know if it matters there. Wait, what is he doing? Is he gonna go for the Mercy? No, what is he doing?
The hog is... Oh, another counter charge!
Why did he go for the hog? Oh, that was a great headshot. Magic Mage just cleaning everybody up right there. That charge made no sense. If you're gonna charge somebody, you need to charge the Mercy because she's standing still. Cancel the res, but don't charge it to a Roadhog. He's not gonna die.
Is there any change you'd like to see from the attackers, or do they just keep, since they're so close to ultimate?
I think after this push, I think they need to switch off the
Well, they almost got
Reaper.
the EMP, so that might be a big ultimate to win this fight.
It is, but it's a lot of coordination, and I'm not seeing that from this team right now. They seem very
charging?
scattered. Why is the Reaper up there before the Reinhardt?
I think they're going far, far left. I'm not sure what that's going to do, but let's see what happens.
It looks like they're trying to rotate around, but they're not moving as a unit. There's
Oh,
only like
one
3
deep.
people.
Oh,
They're
he's going
very
for the ult.
split. Most of it got blocked by that shield there, but that's still going to be enough to clear out the Reaper. See, I don't know why this is happening right now, because these people needed to be with their team. I don't understand why Sandwich didn't move with his tank, because look, they're over there all alone. Oh, bubble him. That doesn't make any sense there. Boxy Pants coming up the right off the What? Great EMP hits a lot of people, but there's
There are no follow-ups.
no follow-up. They get 1 kill, but it's immediately traded out. Oh, that was a pretty good shot right there.
He's looking for the Reaper.
Why did Sandwich
It's the
use...
pick.
Sandwich just used his ult! Why did he use his ult?
Yeah, they really need to save that for a re-engagement.
They're wasting ults for no reason. I don't think that Sandwich is all that comfortable on this hero. I feel like, in retrospect, Sandwich and Boxy Pants probably should have gone different roles. Because both have seemed a little bit uncomfortable here. Oh, there. It's really hard
That's an
to
unfortunate
initiate.
pick, too. They do have the Reaper ult and Lucio, so they might be able to make something happen.
Yeah, but right here, they're pushing in. Alright, they can't quite get them, but that's fine.
The Roadhog gets a nice
But look how
hook.
low, get that Mercy. They needed to punish the Mercy, and now it's too late. At this
Fair Hair
point.
uses their ult and they're just whacking. It's carnage.
Yeah, they...
Oh, it's a nice try, but that's a huge Tor ball. That's a nice cleanup.
It really is, and look at this aftermatch 1v1. C-Ron wants to show here that he's not the worst Widow here.
But no, I think on Michigan Means they also had really good healer supports. They seem to be doing pretty good all around.
Yeah.
Not much to complain about.
No, Michigan Means is on top of this. They're working really well as a team. They making a really big problem with that Torbjorn there. The Torbjorn Widow is... You can't...
Because they kind of have two things to worry about. They got to focus the turret, or do they focus the Widow? Because if they do both, it's not going to work. If they just focus one, the other is going to kill them. So it's a tough
thing to beat. Honestly, if they wanted to win that one, they needed to go into the pack room where the turret likes to hang around. That way they can poke onto the point and be very aggressive. That's the only way they're going to be able to run that rush comp that they really wanted to run.
I am excited here to see the double Widow matchup, but what do you think about the Michigan Means running basically the exact same team they did, but on attack?
It's very interesting. I do not understand the attack Torb, but honestly, if the coordination is as poor for the experimental error as it was in the first round, it's not going to matter.
I do like that the experimental error is swapping up their comp. It's basically completely different. We got different healers, we got different tanks.
Yeah, I mean, Boxy Pants is much more comfortable on the Baptiste than he is on the Moira, of course. But I don't think that Bizarre is very comfortable on the on the Torbjorn, rather. We'll see. So
Let's see how it goes.
There.
I do like the Sigma. It's definitely a better change. I think he's a little more comfortable on Sigma than he
His
is
shield
Zarya.
is just getting annihilated right there. They're kind of a little bit of a close hold here, taking a lot of damage.
Their shields are going
already
low.
broken. You probably should have had a better shield management there. Sandwich is way more comfortable, you can tell, on this Sigma than he was on the Zarya.
Nice pick, very
It's a
nice
great
pick.
pick off there. As you can see, Magic Mage is just kind of getting rid of some of the extra stuff. I misses that res.
That res is really nice right there because they're basically restarting.
Did you notice that Boxy Pants used his immortality field there? No one was dying. There's no reason for that. It looks like a wonder what's about to happen here. Oh, he got booped!
Oh, nice
Oh,
pick.
wow. That
Very
was a great pick right
unfortunate
there.
for CD-ROM, but
That
nice
was a
for them.
great opening pick, and now is Michigan Mean's chance to push in. And it looks like exactly what they're
The
going to do.
fact that he already has Valkyrie, you can really see how much healing's coming in on the Michigan
Nate's
Mean.
coming in. Some great sleeps. I mean, you can see that gamer just trying to carry his team, but it's really hard to do. You can see the Baptiste jumping in front of Shields. Oh, caught him out there.
Nice
Out of position.
pick.
That was a great shot. There's not a lot you can do here.
I think it's basically over at this point.
Slept him out of ult, which is good, but there's really not much.
He has the nano, but he's getting
Oh.
shattered. Can't even
He
use
can't
it.
even use it, and
that's game.
That's it. There was not a lot they could do there. Honestly, comfort picks would have probably been a better call because they were just not playing heroes they were comfortable with. You had some people who were comfortable in playing characters that they're known for, but then you had people like Bizarre and Sandwich who are just not playing characters that they're comfortable with, along with like a boxing.
Yeah,
So they're just playing the heroes that are not quite. They don't fit their strong suit as much.
I definitely like that they were trying to switch it up because they knew first round what they were doing is not working, so they made the right call to change it up. But yeah, like you said, I just don't think it worked for them because of the heroes. They just weren't as comfortable.
Honestly, they probably should have switched to a dive. I know I've said that a lot, but honestly, a dive to counter that Widow may have been a better pick because of how clumped up the strategy of the Michigan Means was. I think a dive would have been way more hard to punish, and it would have been more efficient in that scenario.
Yeah, I also think Michigan Means does very well with their ult management. They seem to save a lot for fights where I feel like Experimental Air could do a little bit better on.
Yeah,
that.
they wasted that grab early in that a completely losing fight there. And I think the biggest problem Experimental Era had in that round was their team coordination. You would just see things like the Reaper would go in first before his Reinhardt, and then he wouldn't be able to get healed or blocked, so he had to jump off the high ground, and then the Reinhardt is now on the high ground, but now the Reaper isn't with them. So it's just they were not moving as a unit. For Rush to work, you have to move as this big unit, and they weren't. They were split up. You had the Reinhardt, Lucio, and the Reaper pushing in, but then you had the Zarya hanging around the back for like no reason. And of course we had Boxy Pants jump off the edge and
that was
took a swim there for a little bit.
Unfortunate, but pretty hilarious.
It's one that's gonna definitely hang in our minds for.
And what do you think about the El Noble on Torb? Because I have not seen much of the Torb. It's kind of a new pick for him, but he seems to be doing pretty successful with it.
Honestly, his aim and his ult usage is really, really good because no one's shutting him down. They couldn't block it because he would use it in times where the TNT Terror had burnt his shield because he wasn't swinging, he was just shielding, and then once that shield is gone, that's an easy pickings for a Torb.
Do you think they really maybe should have possibly considered the Diva just to shut that Torb down a little bit?
I think they really should have gone full dive.
Well, that is all the matches we have for today. Thank you very much for tuning in to this live stream. I expect to have more matches like this in the future. If you liked it, you should share it with your friends. If you weren't already watching, be like, wow, this is really great, and you weren't already saying, hey, you should watch this with me, then you should do that for next time.
Yeah, and this is definitely the first time doing it, and even though it was the first time, it was a lot of back and forth matches, and I think going forward into future games, it's going to be even better because teams are going to get some more cohesion. So yeah, definitely stay tuned and watch. We have a lot in store for the future.
That is the truth. Anyway, see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed.
Adios.